all-out effort by President Trump to rewrite the administration's response to the coronavirus outbreak. At his longest White House briefing so far, this thing was over 2 hours. The president showed a campaign-style video highlighting what he says are his accomplishments.
Millions of Americans are feeling the pain of the pandemic. More than 1,000 died yesterday, bringing the total to 23,000. Since the crisis began, at least 17 million Americans have applied for unemployment benefits. Paula Reid questioned the president at yesterday's briefing. She joins us now from the White House. Good morning, Paula.
Good morning, Anthony. Yesterday's briefing began with the president insisting that Dr. Anthony Fauci's job is not in jeopardy, despite retweeting calls for him to be fired just hours earlier. Fauci was then called to the podium where he recanted statements he had made over the weekend that appeared to criticize the administration's response to coronavirus. With that out of the way, the lights in the room were dimmed and a video was played criticizing the media and praising the president's response.
Everything we did was right.
President Trump was adamant that neither he nor his administration did anything wrong in their response to the coronavirus pandemic, and he lashed out at what he called unfair reporting.
And I don't mind being criticized, but not when they're wrong.
The president played this more than 3-minute campaign-style video produced by White House staff. It shows a timeline suggesting his response to the virus was ahead of the curve. But the video also includes a month-long gap in the administration's response, jumping from February 6th, when the CDC first shipped test kits, to March 2nd, when companies began testing a vaccine.
The argument is that you bought yourself some time. You didn't use it to prepare hospitals. You didn't use it to ramp up testing. Right now,
you're so disgraceful. It's so disgraceful the way you said it. Let me just listen. I just went over it. I just went over it.
In an unprecedented crisis.
Nobody thought we should do it, and when I did it.
But what did you do with the time that you bought?
You know
the
we
month
did.
Of February. That
we did.
Was a gap.
What do you do?
Month of February.
What do you do when you have no case in the whole United States?
You had cases
when
you
excuse me, you reported it. 0 cases, 0 deaths on January 17th.
February, the entire
January. I said in January.
Your video has a complete gap.
On January 30th.
What did your administration do in February with the time that your travel ban bought
A lot.
What?
A lot. And in fact, we'll give you a list. What we did, in fact, part of it was up there. We did a lot. Look. You know you're a fake. You know that. Your whole network, the way you cover it, is fake.
In February, the president held several campaign rallies and continued to downplay the threat.
Looks like by April, in theory, when it gets a little warmer, it miraculously goes away.
But more than 1,600 people tested positive in 47 states before the president declared the outbreak a national emergency on March 13th.
When somebody's the president of the United States, the authority is total.
The president also insisted that he has the authority to lift stay-at-home orders issued by states.
Has any governor agreed that you have the authority to decide when their state
I haven't
opens
asked
back up?
anybody because I don't. You know why? Because I don't have to. Go ahead, please.
But who told you the president has the total authority?
Enough.
New York Governor Andrew Cuomo pushed back on the president, saying the Constitution says we do not have a king. And in a direct challenge to the president's authority, 2 groups of state governors, one on the East Coast, one on the West Coast, the states hit hardest by the virus, announced that they will band together to make their own decisions about how to roll back these restrictions. Tony?
And we'll be following those as well. Paula Reid for us. Paula, thank you very much.